Hey guys, this is Jimmy from Primer is Best. I'm waiting on my wife. She's at the doctor right now, and so I drove her over here waiting for her. We got a bunch of errands to run today. Hang on. Okay, I was just letting this young lady that I guess they have their cell phone interacting with their car, and it's quite loud. I didn't want to get in on their conversation. But I'm just sitting here waiting for my wife, like I said, and going to run a bunch of errands. Forgot what I said, but anyway, I was just sitting here thinking. I've been thinking about this several times, but I was thinking about it again this morning. If you've been watching my channel, Primer is Best, and Man on a Budget, I got two channels. At what point? I'm trying to figure out how to word this. That's why I kind of hesitated. At what point does an old car or an old truck become valuable? Now, I mean, the odd thing is every car and truck doesn't become a classic. I don't understand it. I mean, it's kind of, roll the dice and see what number you come up with. Kind of like one of those deals, but I wasn't going to do a video. Let me say this first of all. I wasn't going to do a video, first of all, but I've had some folks on the channel say they like listening to me talk about whatever the topic is for the day. But I got kind of tickled at one of the comments I read. Somebody said they liked hearing me talk as they were cleaning house, cleaning up their inside of their house. And I was telling Miss PIB about that, and that's kind of funny. To us, we're easily amused anyway. But anyway, like, I want to use this for an example, just an example. Say like a 55 Chevy car. They're worth a bunch of money. But I mean, who would have known in the day, that they would be, valuable, highly sought after today in 2025? But who would have ever thought? Not me. When I was growing up, then cars was everywhere. I drove them. I had a lady that I used to work with, and when I was working two jobs, remember I used to be a DJ, and then that was one job I had. At the same time, I worked in a department store, clothing store, and at the end of the day, when the store was about to close, there was a bunch of older ladies that worked there, and I'd offer, because their cars was way out in the back behind the store, I'd offer to drive their car up to the front of the store so they didn't have to walk as far. You see, it's trying to be a good guy, and most of the ladies, let me pull their car up. They's grateful. They'd been standing on their feet all day in the store waiting on customers, and me too. But I was young and spry, and I just wanted to drive their car. Anyway, point is, one of the ladies had a 55 Chevy two-door Post, and it was black and white. It was original paint, little dog dish hubcaps. That car run like a little sewing machine. Of course, I just drove it, just around the store to the front. But who would have ever thought? And then this other lady, let me tell you this real quick before I forget it. She had a 70 or 71, 72. One of those 3 years. I want to say 71. Nova, two-door. And it had one of those roofs. That, try to show you here. The roof, where's my hand? The roof was, it was made of like, the top of the car was made kind of like a vinyl, and you could peel it back, it would just fold up, like a quilt, kind of like, and who would have ever thought? Now, that's a rare car, and a valuable car nowadays, but I mean, and I drove it. It had a little old 350 in it, and, just driving it to the front of the store, it was, you could tell it had a lot of oomph about it, little 350. Of course, I just pulled the latest 55 Chevy car out to the front. It has 6-cylinder. So, but anyway, getting back to the point of this video, when and what designates, I'm just asking for your opinion, what designates a car or a truck to be valuable? You know, there are some it's unfortunately not very valuable. Let's take, for example, Studebakers. Now, I like Studebakers. I have no problem with a Studebaker car or truck, but they're not, you know, highly sought after. Maybe the what's the name of that? Golden Hawk might be, or the Avante. I think that's how you pronounce it. Avante. You know, 63, Avante 62 maybe. But I mean, they're sought after, but they're nothing like a 55 Chevy. You know, nothing like a 57 Chevy. You know, nothing like a Ford Mustang, you know, fastback or whatever. And what got me thinking about this again in my head is because I was talking to GM1038 on YouTube. His name is Brian. That's his YouTube channel name, GM1038. The other day he called me on his way home, asking what I was doing, blah, 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 you know how you do. And we was talking about Camaros and stuff. And my friend had a 68 Camaro just recently, and he called Brian's dad. Now, Brian's dad's name is Charlie, and Charlie knows Camaros. He knows 67 through 69 Camaros like the back of his hand. He knows Camaros inside and out. He's had tons of them. He can tell you every place to look at throughout the Camaro, you know, what to look for, see if something's not right, whatever. Anyway, I didn't know it, and Charlie didn't know that I would have been interested in the car. It was a 68 Camaro. It was a maroonish color with center lines on it, 327 automatic. Pretty decent looking car. He sent me pictures of it after the deal was done. Charlie already had a Camaro, so he declined on it. But he told the guy that had the Camaro that he was wanting to sell that he would, like to sell it. And would Charlie be interested? And Charlie said, no, I've already got one. And, I'm kind of saving my money for something else, whatever. So Charlie said, I'll help you sell it. So Charlie made a couple of calls and sold the car. And the guy gave him $500 just for helping him sell the car. I don't know what the car was sold for when Charlie was pricing it to other folks, but, helping the guy out. But anyway, the Camaro, the guy priced the Camaro to Charlie for $22,000. And Camaros, like I said, I'm just wondering why things are like they are. Camaros go up every year. I mean, it's like money in the bank. If you keep one long enough, it's going to go up. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. But I told Charlie, I said, I wish I would have known that you had, Charlie told me it was a good car, and that's why I was interested in it. He said, Jimmy, that was a good car. He said, I just didn't have no place to put it, and I already had one, and you know how life is. And so I said, Charlie, I wish I'd have known that. I said, I would have sold, Left Turn Bill and Billy James, and probably had to put more with it, I guess, who knows, to have bought the Camaro, because I could park it in the garage and it would keep making money every day. Every year it'd be worth more and more. And I don't know why. But the guy that got the car, I found out who let me say this again. I found out who bought the car. And he took the centerline wheels off and put original steel rims on it with the little dog dish hubcaps. And he put it on the Camaro. Man, it looked good. Had the little spoiler on the back, like I said, kind of a maroonish color. And I called him and I said, do you have that Camaro? And he said, no. Said, I didn't have it 2 days and I resold it. So you see the price keeps going up and up and up. And it's just, I didn't even ask who he sold it to or anything. Because, it's getting way up out of my price range. But I told Charlie if he ever runs across another one like that he says is a good car, I would be interested in it. So I've already had one car like that. It's a 68 Camaro, 350 with a 4-speed in it. And I had it. It needed a lot of work. Needed quarters put in it and everything. And, you know, I had it for a little while as a factory. When I got the car, the Camaro, it was white with a red stripe, you know, around the nose of it. You know, had the spoiler and all that, bucket seats, 4-speed, like I said. Car sounded mean. But it was originally a black, outside would have been originally black, you know, tuxedo black with red insides. That's what was in the car, red insides. And I traded that car for a 71 Chevy C10 truck. That is a nice truck. And I sold the truck. I've went into that before. I'm not going to get into that story again. One of those deals. Anyway, getting back to my point, see how I get sidetracked, and I apologize. If you're cleaning your house, maybe you're about halfway done. I don't know, but at what point, you know, it's kind of funny how some cars and some trucks are worth something and some are not. I mean, they might be worth a little bit more than what they would normally bring, but, you know, not worth something like a Chevy C10 truck or a Camaro or 55 Chevy, you know. And, you know, it's kind of funny, you know, some Corvettes are not worth a lot of money. I mean, not like a Camaro per se. You know, I almost bought a Corvette a time or two, and now I'm glad I didn't. You know, I almost bought a 76, I think it's a 76 Corvette Stingray. Back before I married Mrs. PIB, it was a red car, 350, it run great. And I thought seriously about getting it. I thought about it for several days. One of my friends had it, and he's wanting to sell it. And I almost bought it. And now I'm glad I didn't. I mean, they're worth a lot, but they don't go up in value as much, say, as a Camaro or a Chevelle, you know, Super Sport or something like that. You know, I don't understand it. I mean, it's, like I said, throw the dice and hope for the best, I guess. But anyway, I don't know what y'all have in your driveway or in your garage or what you're working on. I like all cars and all trucks. Let me say this: Ford, Dodge, Studebaker, Oldsmobile, Pontiacs. If you've been watching my channel, you've heard me say a bunch of times, I really like Pontiacs, especially the 65 GTO. I guess that's one of my favorites. Well, 57 Pontiac Star Chief. I like them all. I like them all. And, you know, Plymouth, I like Plymouth. But anyway, you know, some are worth a lot, some are not. I don't know who gets the trend started where something's worth a lot and something not. I had a chance before I retired. I mean, it was just a few months before I knew I was going to retire from my work or try to. What it was, I'd sold a bunch of my cars and trucks to a feller in North Carolina or South Carolina. I think he bought 4 or 5 cars from me. And this is before Rob Pitts bought 4. Rob Pitts bought 5 from me. I always get a bunch of cars and trucks, and then I try to sell them as a lot. Hang on, guys. Okay, guys, I don't know exactly where we left off. My wife come out of the doctor's office, and ironically, now we're at the funeral home. One of my wife's friends passed away and died, and so anyway, I'm sitting in the car. It's too hard for me to get out with my leg, and anyway, I'm trying to keep from being sick. There's a lot of it going around. Anyway, getting back to the point. Now, you know, all my Chevys and GMC trucks that I bought on this channel, even before I started YouTube, I was doing the same thing I'm doing now. Buying old cars and old trucks that nobody wants, or what most people would consider dead. In the woods, in the field, whatever. Anyway, so I try to buy trucks like that and put a little bit at a time into them to get them back up on their feet. And most of the time, you know, would I have been cheaper to have bought one already done? Probably. And been enjoying it? Probably. But I would have had a payment, you know, a monthly payment. I don't want that. I'll try to buy trucks and cars, but mostly C10 and GMC trucks. that need a lot of work, need a lot of attention. And, I can just put a little bit of money at a time into the project as I have it. There's no payment. If I want to quit putting money into it, I can at any time. I mean, it's not eating nothing. Not like you would if you bought one already running and stuff, and you're having to make that payment whether it's broke down or you're not driving it or whatever. So anyway, I got, that's the kind of stuff I'm into. But it's just like square bodies. I'm mostly into square bodies. And when did those become so popular? I mean, I remember walking right by them and never even giving a second glance. Never. Now you got all these vendors that make parts for these trucks, for square bodies seem like especially. You got all these vendors that, you can buy fenders, anything for a square body. There's lots of them out there, which means the price of the parts goes down most of the time because there's so many vendors competing with each other, you see. So, yeah, I don't understand it. But anyway, I'm glad of it. But all of a sudden, I mean, it just like something hit me in the head, and all of a sudden, I'm into square bodies. I really like square bodies. And before, I mean, I drove them, never thought nothing about it. I thought, well, these will never be worth anything. Look at them. Yeah, look at them now. But getting back to my point, what makes something more, all of a sudden, more valuable than something else? I mean, and in my situation, remember I said I like Fords and Chevys, Dodge. I like them all. I'll take anything. But you have to be careful what you put your money into. Now, I have more luck working, or, I play with them, what I call it. I have friends that help me. I mean, a bunch, doing metal work and stuff like that and other things. And I'm not saying I'm real smart. I'm the dumbest. I'm the dimmest bulb in the room. If you turn me on, you get a little bitty bright light. I'm not real smart. Is what I'm trying to say. But I just, you have to be careful what you put your money into. I can find Chevy and GMC parts much quicker than I can a Dodge, a Studebaker, a Ford, whatever. I mean, I just can. It's just much quicker, easier to find if you can find anything, which is quite a challenge. And, nowadays, at least here in East Tennessee, I had somebody comment. I was reading a comment on the video I posted today, and they said, that there's 64, 5, and 6 Chevy trucks where they live everywhere. They're abundant. But, that's out west. Not here in East Tennessee. They're not. So you remember I got 2 66 trucks, Chevy trucks. And there's quite a bit of difference between buying parts for a 66 than there is a square body. I mean, square body stuff's just abundant and cheaper. But anyway, I was just wondering, I'm just giving y'all food for thought. If you're just sitting there at work or at home cleaning your house or whatever you happen to be doing, what makes something more valuable all of a sudden than something else? I seen well, let me say this. If I can, I'll try to include it in the video. I'll try. If they don't care me making a video of it. But there's like a 75 or 76 Ford truck for sale at a car lot that I went by. We had to come to town to do all this doctoring and funeral homes and stuff today. So I seen it, and on the window it said $8,500. $8,500, and it's a little short bed blue truck. To me, it's not worth $8,500, but maybe it is to a Ford guy. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, just thought I'd shoot this little video. I thank y'all for watching. Probably didn't make a bit of sense. I'm just all over the place, aren't I? Can't keep up with me. But let me know what you think, about old cars and old trucks, the values of them, and at what point in their life. I mean, as you buy a new car, the value goes down. I don't see any new cars or trucks ever being worth what an old car or old truck is today, you know, like a square body. I don't never foresee a 2025 Ford, Chevy, Dodge, whatever, ever being worth, you know, the time and effort to resurrect one 30, 40 years later. You got all that electronics and all that stuff. It's just not going to happen, I don't think. Of course, I'll probably be dead and gone by then. I don't know. The Lord knows I don't, but I just don't think with all the electronics, heated seats, you know, self-driving and all this other stuff, I just don't see it happening. I mean, I don't. Not when you could buy, you know, one that's kind of simple, you know, a common person with a little bit of sense, smarter than me, can work on. But y'all think about that. I mean, I'm just giving you food for thought, something you can think about today. There's quite a few people coming in here at the funeral home, so I'm just going to kind of lay low and, you know, enjoy the rest of the day with my wife when she comes out from visiting with her friends. Y'all have a blessed day. My name is Jimmy. You're watching Prime It Is Best. I'm also on Facebook, Prime It Is Best, and Instagram, Prime It Is Best. Got a second YouTube channel called Man on a Budget, and I'm on Instagram, Man on a Budget 1, and I'm on Facebook, Man on a Budget. If you'd like and subscribe to both channels, I'd be really grateful and appreciative. Let me know what you think about this video. If you think it's dumb, it's okay. Sometimes a lot of dumb things come out of my mouth. I'm not real bright, remember. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll be praying for y'all. My wife and I pray for y'all several times a day. If you want me to pray for you, just subscribe to the channel, Prime It Is Best, and Man on a Budget, and say, Jimmy, you know, would you and Mrs. PIB pray for me or my spouse or my children or my neighbor or whoever? You don't have to tell me why. It's none of my business. But I'll be happy to pray for you. Believe me, we pray for y'all several times a day, morning and night. So, y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. God is great. God is good. Try to do a good deed if you can for somebody. Hold the door. Say a kind word. Watch your tongue. I'm still working on me. I need a lot of work. I'm all the time running my mouth about stuff that I need to just shut up. Hush. Shut up. So, bridle your tongue. Words can hurt better or more than somebody hitting you sometimes. You'll get over getting hit. But words, man, they last a long time, don't they? They can cut to the heart. Y'all have a blessed day. God bless you. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video. If you like and subscribe, please give me a thumbs up. God bless you. See you later.